Hey guys, and welcome to the latest edition of Link's Labs. Today we're going to be discussing scotch, particularly the Glenmorangie 12 year. This was aged in a bourbon cask. It's a newer one. I'm particularly more fond of the Glenfiddich's, Glenlivets, but I like scotch. I'm a connoisseur. Like I said, I generally prefer the space side, but I do try some of the other ones. The space side I prefer mostly because it doesn't have that full earthy smoke taste that tastes like dirt and smoke, campfire. But this one here has got some decent flavor. We're going to do two different tastings. My greatest friend's mom, Norma, she gave us this whiskey smoke kit combo for Christmas, and we're gonna test it out. You put the little bit of oak chips or whatever flavor you want in this little receptacle here. Go ahead and use the torch. Just get it good and smoky. Throw this on top, and it infuses your drink with a little bit more smoky flavor. I know I just got done saying that I don't care for the more smokier scotches, but a little bit of smoke doesn't hurt, and I want to try this out. So we're gonna test it. Today we're using, like I said, the Glenmorangie 12 with the oak. The kit itself comes with 2 glasses, 2 ice balls. I don't use ice balls with my scotch. I'll use those later with the rum that I'm going to have. Right now I'm going to have a small little sip of the normal Glenmorangie without the smoke and one with it, and we'll test and see what the difference is. But this little kit also comes with a butane torch. We don't have any butane to put in there, so once again, using the big old boy. Comes with 6 different flavors. We've got pear, walnut, peach, cherry, apple, and oak. As I said, we're going to go with the oak today. So let's go ahead and pour our first little jigger of scotch. Now, some people prefer their scotch just neat, just like this with nothing. Some people will use a dollop, a drip or two of water to unlock those flavors, and other people like it on the rocks. Now, I don't. I'm not a snob, and if you want to drink scotch on the rocks, that's on you, but you're watering down a very generally expensive drink, or not the cheapest, at least in my opinion. Back up. I think I discussed the 3 different ways to drink scotch. The 4th way, which you better not, or I mean, once again, I'm not a snob, but doing shots of scotch, it's a sin. It's a crime against humanity. You're committing war crimes at that point. I did have that happen once. I think it was a 15-year Glenfiddich, and I poured a couple little glasses for me and a few of my buddies. Hamilton, that was a guy back in the 158th Infantry in Tucson. Handed him the scotch and was like, "Hey man, there's a nice 15-year scotch." He proceeded to literally just go, "Oh, that was hot, bro. Are you kidding me? This is not." I was a lot more poor back then too, so a 15-year, $80 bottle of scotch was, like I said, it's a sin. Plenty of other things you can do that way. So let's get started with putting a little bit of this. I don't know how much. This is new to me. I've never done a smoke infuser, so this is a learning project. And like I said, I'm not a snob when it comes to scotches. I've tried quite a few, at least probably close to 50. Probably 30. 50 is a bit of an over-exaggeration. Not all of them have been the highest quality, but I did one time get a chance to do a scotch tasting with some of the finer, higher ends that are closer to $300 a shot. Luckily, I wasn't paying, but let's get to it. So let's light this up. that's doing its little smoky goodness, we'll go ahead and try this normal one. Like I said, I'm not a snob, so I'm not going to tell you like, oh, it's got hints of apple and marmalade and all that. I'll tell you whether it tastes good and whether it's a little bit smoky and some of the flavors. This, like I said, is the 12-year Glenmorangie bourbon bottles, casks. It says it's got a smooth, creamy, and luscious with notes of orange, honey, vanilla, and peach. If you have a fine enough palate to distinguish all that stuff, good on you. I don't. But it does have a nice, good little smell to it. This time we're doing just dry. Like I said, normally I'll put a couple drops, not more than a few, of water in there just to unlock some of the aromas and stuff like that without changing the taste or the watering it down too much. So it does have a little bit of a more fruity flavor for scotches. Not a lot of smoke at all, almost none of that earthy taste. It is smooth. So I don't know how long we're supposed to let this other thing get infused, but we'll go into some of the other cool things real quick while we're here. We've got my 105 millimeter projectile bottle holders. These don't hold normal size bottles. They hold like the 375s, or for you war vets and people that know, the energy of the military in Afghanistan and Iraq, right there, Rippets or monsters, whatever you want. I put a Rippet in here because, like I said, if you know, you know. I don't really drink Rippets on a normal anymore. I try not to drink energy drinks at all because of heart things. Being married to a heart nurse, she doesn't let me have as much fun. So, but this can be found on Maker World. You can print it yourself. If you're one of my very close friends, you can ask me and I'll print you one maybe, or give you one of these. But prints in a bunch of different pieces. You put it back together, and then it's got little rods in there that you hold it all together. Eventually, we're gonna have a model that has an LED light in there, and the final touch is going to be an LED light that has contacts where when it opens up, it shines the light, and on the inside here it'll be colored more of a red, yellow, so it looks like it's actually exploding like an actual 105 HE. So if you know what this one is. It's about the same, but a little bit more spicy. This is meant to create smoke. It's used for smoke and concealment. What it really is white phosphorus. It burns the shit out of things. That's what this seafoam green color indicates, is that this is a white phosphorus round. Obviously, these are just for the lulz. Looks like the smoke is kind of mostly dissipated. So let's give it a try. Let's see what it smells like. Yep, that smells like smoke. Obviously, there was smoke while that was going on, so. Yeah, even with the smoke dissipated, there's a distinct flavor. That's actually really good. There's not really a smokiness to it, I wouldn't say, or at least in my opinion, it doesn't taste smoky, but it does taste different. It's a little bit more blunt of a taste. The fruits aren't as sharp. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else. Sorry, not the best with words. I do try some, but yeah. So there's that. Like I said, this channel covers a lot of different things. Most people are probably going to skip and go past this one because this is a pretty niche market, scotch and whatever. But once again, thank you for joining me in Link Slabs, and I hope you had a good time. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, do whatever the hell you want. Go to Maker World, print some of my stuff. We got this nice little VS50 landmine that does a little squishy action. These can be bought for like $170 on different inert ordnance product places that sell this shit to the government. Or you can 3D print it yourself for about 50 cents, $1. And this one actually does squish button action. Once again, thank you and have a wonderful day.